Hello. Hello there. I am Monica and we are going live today. So I am calling in from Amsterdam in the Netherlands and I'll be going live soon together with my good friend and colleague Anna from New York in the United States. Today we are talking all about scaling your e-commerce business. Uh, so today we're going to be talking all about scaling your e-commerce business. I'm just going to wait for Anna to join us too. So we're going to have two of us on here live. Me in from Amsterdam, she in from New York. And we're going to be talking about the three mistakes that a lot of businesses, e-commerce business make when scaling. So last time, if you remember, you can always catch the replay. We talked all about building an irresistible e-commerce brand. And today it's all about scaling. So I'm Monica. I'm your business and brand strategist, helping purposeful product-based businesses scale, helping them attract a tribe that is ready to buy. So today, and that's why last time we talked all about building that irresistible brand. And today, once Anna joins in, we will all be talking about the scaling that business. So she is a digital marketer who has worked with e-commerce businesses for quite a few years, so knows all about it. And in the meantime, if anyone has any specific questions that you would really like us to cover, feel free to join that, write that in the comments. I'm happy to see that, and we'll definitely post that. So I can see Anna joining in. It's working, and I'm fingers crossed for the live this time. For the Wi-Fi, I think I had Wi-Fi issues last time. I'm hoping this will stay well this time. And there she is. Hi, Anna. Can you hear me?
I hear you now. It's just
Yes, we got it.
How are you?
Fingers crossed for our Wi-Fi. Well, I see a few people joining in already and joining in to listen in. So I gave a small introduction about myself. So today, like I said, guys, we're all talking about scaling your e-commerce businesses. And I'm going to let Anna first do her introduction since I already talked about myself a little bit. And let her tell a bit about herself.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I am a Facebook and Instagram ads digital marketing expert. So I've been doing Facebook and Instagrams for e-commerce businesses for, I'll say, over 7 years. And I've done a lot of testing and I know what e-commerce businesses need in order to scale. And I also know what they don't need or what they need to have in place when they're ready to scale so they don't waste money along the way.
Oh, I love that, especially about the not wasting money. And I think
Yes.
I really love for everybody that listening in, just remember one thing that I think Anna and I both believe in this wholeheartedly. There is no overnight success in e-commerce businesses. So if you're listening to this thinking that we're going to give some magic tips, no, but this is going to be something that you can consistently implement to take your time and grow. So that's what it's all about. So start. I mean, let's talk about it.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes that e-commerce businesses make when they are ready to scale or when they think they're ready to scale. So I started like with 4 tips and then I added one more and then I added one more. So I ended up with eight, like
Okay.
8 things, 8 mistakes. So the first one is I see a lot of e-commerce businesses wanting to run Facebook ads and wanting to scale without knowing if they have a successful product. A lot of people think that, okay, I opened up my e-commerce business. We have a lot of e-commerce businesses that are new due to the quarantine. A lot of brick and mortar businesses were forced to create a website and an e-commerce business during the quarantine. And but a lot of them don't know if their products sell online, if they're successful. And they think that Facebook ads or Instagram ads, they're gonna be that magic pill that's gonna get their products selling right away.
Oh, yes.
So the first thing that you have to know before you invest money on Facebook ads before you try to sell more is make sure you have a successful product that you have sold, that people are buying from you.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Test it on a smaller scale before you really go out and spend huge amount of money. Oh, that can be a lifesaver.
Yes, yes, and that's important. That's one mistake that I've seen a lot for people who want to either work with me to manage their ads, or coaching. And I don't want to take people's money if they're not ready to invest in Facebook ads. So
Yeah.
I give them coaching on everything else that they need before they invest the money to scale it. So make sure your product, you have a successful product that sells, that's proven that it works, and then show it to the world on Facebook ads or Instagram ads. When I talk about Facebook ads, it includes Instagram ads because a lot of people are like, is it also
Yes.
Instagram ads?
Well, it all runs from the same platform. So yes, we mean both.
Yeah.
Cool. So, okay, that's number one. So making sure you have a proven product first. What's number two?
So number two is not having all the foundations in place. What do I mean by that? If you're new to e-commerce, you need to make sure you have your customer service in place, because when you start showing your products to millions of people and they have questions about them, you have to make sure you have your e-commerce service system in place, so somebody is on top of those emails and those questions you're gonna get. The other one is email marketing. I cannot tell you how important it is for you to be running Facebook ads and have a strong email marketing strategy in place. This includes abandoned cart emails. This includes like once a week emails. Even if you have 5 people on your email list, they're on your email list for a reason. They want to hear from you. People buy from people, even if you're an e-commerce business. So if you start building that relationship, not only on Facebook ads, but also through email marketing, where you're on their inbox, don't bug them too much. Don't send emails every day if you only have a couple hundred people on your email list, but at least doing once a week or 2 times a month, where you tell them the best sellers, new arrivals, sales that you have. Again, if somebody bought today, but they haven't bought in the last 30 days or in the last 3 months, have a funnel or flows in place, so you continue building the relationship with your customers, so they don't only see you on Facebook ads, but they also see you through their emails.
I love what you're saying, because once you're going into ads, means you're starting to scale your business. So if you don't have the foundations in place, you may actually lose customers for the wrong reasons. Yeah, and I think if for anyone who missed it last time, we talked about some of the foundations, about really knowing who your customer is, your why, your customer, and the value you're offering. So remember to go back and watch that as well, because that's also one of the key foundations that falls under this.
Definitely. The other one is having a strong social media presence. When people see your ads, they're either gonna go to your website or they're gonna go to your Instagram page, Facebook page, or Pinterest, wherever you have your social media presence. Just make sure it's strong. Just make sure you're promoting your products on like beautifully, not just like on mannequins. I cannot tell you how many people I've seen that they just have like, they're not eye appealing.
Yeah.
So if somebody likes your ads, but then go to check you out on social media and they're like, maybe not, then you lose that lead that you just got before.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying, oh, that's fantastic, a good social media presence, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think I want to remind people of that also. When you're going on, starting your advertising, you're scaling, so yes, the social media presence needs to be there, but nothing needs to be perfect. Remember that as well.
Yes. And there's like a lot of different foundations, but this is one of the most important ones. The mindset.
Yes.
For business, it's good mindset, especially with Facebook ads. Listen, your Facebook ads are probably not going to work at first, but you have to, if you're going to spend the money, you have to spend in the long run, the long term. You have to test. If something don't work at first, just don't shut everything down and just think that it's not for you. They work, you can scale your business very easily to a Facebook ad. Help companies go from 300,000 to 1 million after a lot of testing has been done. So it's a lot of mindset and know it's gonna work. It's just when it's gonna work.
God, and isn't that a rule for business in general? That we need to
Yeah.
learn to test and remember that when one thing isn't working, what are we learning from that? Tweak it and then move forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God, and
So
don't
that was
forget.
number two, the
So,
foundations.
yes.
So number three, not having a strategy in place and just running Facebook ads just to see if they work. Listen, when you do this, you're just gonna waste your money and they're not gonna work. Because if you don't have the strategy in place, first, you don't know where you're going, you don't know where your goals are, and you don't know how to properly get in front of people.
Yes.
So you're just gonna waste your money.
God.
So that was number three, not having a strategy in place.
No,
That's
yeah.
one of the first things I say to my customers and my coaches. What's the strategy? What's your main goal?
So I hear Meredith saying that's sort of been me. Yes. Well, you need to know where you are and where you want to go to be able to decide what you want to do and what
Mm-hmm.
actions you need to take. Otherwise, you're constantly shooting in the dark, like we're throwing balls into a goal with your eyes closed.
Yes, it's like imagine like you just see like targeting a cold audience and then they just see your ads once and then that's it. But if you don't have the strategy in place in order to run ads to a cold audience or to a lead magnet and then retargeting them to have them to convert, then you're wasting your money. So make sure you have a strategy in place.
Awesome. Cool. Number three.
Number
Now
that
number
was
four, right?
number four, not knowing who your audience is.
Yes.
This is so important, especially when you're running ads for your Facebook ads. I'm not just having a funnel strategy I
Strategy.
need to work on. Yeah, that's what I need to work on. Meredith, I think you got it. I've been working with Meredith on the side, and I think she's doing pretty good now on what the strategy that she's having in place right now.
Cool.
So the fourth one is not knowing who your audience is. The success in Facebook ads is like 50% on of it is to get in front of the right people.
Yeah.
And a lot of businesses think that everybody's their customer. Everybody is going to buy the product. And I am sorry to tell you that's not true.
No.
No.
You don't even want that.
No. You don't want everybody to like you. You want like your ideal customer or your dream client to buy your product, but then you have to study who they truly are and study their behaviors. So what they
Yeah.
do, what books they read, influencers they follow, obviously who your competitors are. But a lot of people just get stuck on their competitors and they don't go like more deep into their customers' behaviors, which is what kills them with Facebook ads.
Yes.
Because when you just go with your competitors, guess what? Your competitors are going with their competitors. So everybody's betting on the same audience and your cost per conversion is going to go up.
Yes. And we don't want that.
Yes. No.
And this is what we talked about last time. Remember, one of the four pillars of an irresistible brand, knowing your customer, knowing their needs, wants, and desires. So guys, go back and watch that replay to make sure that you get this mistake, you don't make this mistake.
Yes. And also that it's so important. It's what you're saying. Not only like nailing like their behaviors, but also how you talk to them, how you speak to them. Are you speaking their language? Are you showing them things they want?
Yeah.
That's so important because if I'm your ideal customer, but you show me an ad which doesn't speak to me, I'm not gonna convert.
Yes.
So know who your customer is, what their behaviors are, how they communicate, and that's gonna be a huge part of your success in Facebook ads.
Awesome. So that was audience number 4. So fifth mistake that people make.
So the fifth one, giving up too fast. Facebook ads is about testing. So a couple customers I've taken them from 0x because their accounts were new and we were studying who their audience was to 3x, to 10x, to 25x. But that didn't happen overnight. No. That happened over 6 months, over a year, over 3 years. So, but a lot of people, they're like, oh, let me test Facebook ads and see if it works. And then when the first 2 weeks, with the first couple of weeks don't work, first month doesn't work, what do? They shut everything down because Facebook ads is not for them.
Yes.
The secret, you can turn Facebook ads and scale your business and turn it into your ATM machine. But you have to be in it to learn what works, what doesn't work, and in it for the long term and test.
Yeah.
If something doesn't work, let me test this. If something doesn't work, let me test that.
And isn't it that a lot of people sometimes just start too big too fast on Facebook ads, and that's why they run out of the budget and therefore they give up too fast?
Yes, that's one of my
I'm going ahead, sorry.
yes. So that's I'm just gonna tell it right now. Like, scaling too fast.
Yes.
So I have the products they sell. Let me just invest all this money right away without learning, without going through the learning phase of what works, what doesn't work, and then scaling. So it's like they scale before knowing what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then they waste all their money, and then they turn everything off because that didn't work for them.
Exactly. And that's how you get into the vicious circle of trying to do so much and constantly adding more in budget and losing money instead of making money from it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next one, it's not walking people through a funnel. Even for e-commerce businesses, you need to walk people through a funnel.
Yeah.
Where they go from not knowing who you are to engaging with you to going to your website to purchasing once and then to like keep coming to your website and buying from you because they love your product.
Yes.
So you can't expect a cold audience to shop from you right away. You need to have the strategy in place in order to turn a cold audience into a warm audience, into a hot audience. And that's the success behind Facebook ads. A lot of people get discouraged because they're targeting cold audiences and they don't see enough ROI.
Yeah.
Guess why you don't see it? Because that cold audience is going into your warm audience campaign because they're not always going to get stuck in the cold stage. And then you're going to see most of your ROI in the warm audience campaign.
Yes.
But you're walking people through a funnel.
Oh, I love that. So it's looking at the whole funnel. Don't just look at each ad individually. Oh, that is awesome. That
Yeah.
is a fantastic tip. I think a lot of people forget that we look at, your cold audience is not converting, so it's not working. But if those cold audience are gone into warm and they've converted there, it's working.
Yeah. And that's how I treat my e-commerce clients.
Yeah.
You have to walk them through a funnel. And sometimes my clients get like a little discouraged when they see the cold audiences campaign not converting as well. I'm like, no, they're not converting because they're turning into warm and then they're converting in the warm stage. So just make sure you walk people through a funnel.
And is it true that as one of the averages I've always heard is that it can take people, it's an average, of course, up to 7 times visiting your store before they actually buy from you. And that will change depending on how expensive or lower end your product is.
Yeah. So tell me, like when you see an ad, how many times do you buy from it the first time that you see it?
Oh, not much. No. Actually, I don't.
I don't. Like, it takes me a couple of times for me to see the same thing in order for me to actually just click on it.
Yes.
And then when I click on it and I'm like, oh, I like this. And then I keep scrolling and then I keep getting retargeted with maybe like a 20% off offer. So see, I went from cold to warm. And then guess what? They start targeting me with the product that I saw. And I'm like, okay, it starts following me around. And now I know I have that 20% off discount. So and now the product that I like is following me around. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to convert.
Yeah, and that's especially true because I think the clients we work with, a lot of our group members and clients that we've worked with so far are like purposeful brands and they're higher end lifestyle brands. This is not an under $20 kind of a product. So
especially for them.
It will not be because it's not going to be an impulse buy. So you want to see it a few times and so you have to keep bringing them back, guys. That's an awesome tip. Remember that.
Because Facebook ads is not only to bring in cold customers who are only going to buy once. We need to build customer lifetime value. And that's one of the best ways to do it. Because when your customers keep seeing new arrivals through Facebook ads and keep like clicking on and buying from you, that's when you see your return on investment, return on ad spend growing and growing and growing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's tip number, I got lost.
7, I think. We're on 7. I think we're number 8 now.
Yeah. number. No, that was 7, I think.
Yes.
Um, so the next one is running Facebook ads before knowing how to run Facebook ads.
Oh, I love that you love this for last.
Listen, if you don't want to waste your money, invest the money that you want to spend in Facebook ads in hiring a coach, buying a course, learning in blogs. I post blogs on my website every week on how to properly run ads. Don't just go and open an ads account or like start boosting stuff from your Instagram page or boosting stuff from your Facebook page. Please don't do that because you're just gonna waste your money. Especially when you boost the stuff from like your pages. You can't have the funnel strategy that I'm talking about when you just do it from there.
Yes.
And you need to learn it first if you don't want to waste your money. You need to learn how to properly build that strategy inside of Facebook so you're in there for the long run, and you don't waste your money.
I know that is awesome. I think people should also remember what we don't mean is what you probably don't mean is it doesn't mean that you're going to know everything about Facebook ads. It's just that you
Mm-mm.
know at least the basic
The
things you need to start with.
foundations.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
you're like confident enough that you know how to test and what audiences to target and how to retarget people.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many clients I've had or coaching clients I've had that have run ads for years and they just kept losing and losing money. They weren't even retargeting their audiences.
Ooh, no
Mm-hmm.
retargeting. Okay.
No, not just running to cold interest audiences. One huge tip here, you guys, if you have a good email list who's above 1,000 people, 2,000 people, plug in that email list into your Facebook ads account and turn that into a lookalike. First, the lookalike is a cold audience is going to be super hot for you because the behaviors are very similar to the ones your email list already has. And second, use your email list to retarget them with your products because if they're in your email list, they probably already bought from you, and they will likely buy from you again when they continue seeing your ads.
But that's an awesome tip. So there are 2 tips in this, guys, if you heard it properly. So 2 tips. Take your email list. If you have a sufficiently large email list, which is probably around 1,000, you said,
Above 1,000.
above 1,000, you can retarget them on Facebook, but then you can also make a lookalike audience so that there are people with similar behaviors to people who are on your email list. And that can bring in a new cold audience who you can then warm up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So two
Yeah.
tips, guys, if to immediately get started.
Yeah. And it's like, it surprises me every time I don't see an e-commerce business doing this or anybody that's running Facebook ads and they have a good sized email list. It hurts me because that's like just easy money right there for your Facebook ads.
What happens if you have a smaller list? What would you suggest? So say you have 200 or 500 people on it. What can you do with
So
that?
if you do that, if you have just like keep working on growing your email list, which you can do through like a lead generation campaign on Facebook ads,
Yes.
giveaways. Meredith, who's here, she's doing a very successful lead generation campaign on Facebook ads for her e-commerce business.
Yes.
So work on continue building your email list. First, because of Facebook ads, but second, because your email list is gold. Every time you send an email to your email list and you don't overwhelm them too much,
Yes.
you're gonna see sales coming in right away. When you have new arrivals, when you have sales, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the holidays. So you need to work on growing it and also like honoring how important it is. And if you don't have, like if you have 500 people, you can still upload the list to your Facebook. But what I would recommend to do is to exclude that email list from your first time customers offers.
Yes.
So if you have a cold audience if you have like an offer that get 20% off your first purchase, you have an email list of people who have bought from you before, you don't want them to see that ad because they're gonna want to use that code, and if they don't get that code, they're gonna get disappointed.
Yeah.
You know?
And Meredith has just pointed out 14 cents per lead right now. That is awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you can do that through Facebook ads. So work onto like building your list of Facebook ads and exclude your email list from first-time customers or cold audiences campaigns.
Awesome. Okay. So we've had 8 amazing tips here, going from really practical
I
things
have
to things
one last one that's very, very
okay.
important.
Tell.
Not knowing your numbers.
I love that one.
So not tracking your ads, not knowing what's working today that didn't work last week, or what worked last week, or what worked last month, that's not working today.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know where you're going and you don't know how you're performing, how do you know what you need to optimize in order to continue growing your return on investment? So one of the things that I do is I create custom reports inside my Facebook ads account. I can do it for myself and I do it for my clients. And every week I monitor how everything did.
Yes.
On the ad level, the ad level, campaign level.
Yes.
And then we optimize. Don't touch your campaigns. Like if you do something today, I won't touch them for the next 3 days. I'll let Facebook do its magic for 3 days and then I'll optimize. But I go and look at my numbers on a weekly basis. And I have reports week over week to see how everything is working. We're scaling, we're not scaling, and to see what's working, what's not working. And then that's how you properly scale, because you can't be like, oh, yesterday this ad didn't perform so good. Let's turn it off and let's try this new one. Guess what? Your ads are not going to work if you keep making changes every day and you don't know what's working and not working on the long term.
Yes, but you can't run a business without knowing your numbers. You have to take decisions based on information that is coming out. So if you would give people, what numbers do you actually, if you want to, what's the most biggest key number you look at in Facebook? Because there's so many.
So there's so many, but this is another mistake that I see a lot of people doing with Facebook ads. And not only when they're trying to scale, but when they're actually just starting to run ads in general, that they're looking at the wrong data. So if you're optimizing for engagement, right? Because you want more engagement, but you get discouraged because you're not getting enough conversions from your engagement campaign, that's a big mistake.
Yes.
Because you can't expect an engagement campaign to give you conversions.
Yeah.
So the first number that you need to look at is what you're optimizing for. If you have a campaign that's optimizing for conversions, then that's your main goal. Yes. If you have a campaign that is optimizing for leads, then look at the cost per lead. Look at the results, the conversion rate, all of that. Then after you keep track of your main goal, because if I'm getting a campaign, which has happened a lot with e-commerce businesses.
Yes.
I love looking at the click-through rate.
Yeah.
But if I have a campaign, a conversion campaign that has 3% click-through rate, that is giving me very little return on investment.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, my battery is about to die. Let me just plug in my phone. But if you have a campaign that's giving you 0.8 click-through rate, but it's giving you 5x return on investment, which one are you gonna keep?
The one with the sales, of course, right?
Yes. So that's something that I look at. I like to look at the click-through rate if my return on investment is okay, just to see how people are engaging. But I mostly look at what my goals are, and then I optimize from there.
So that's awesome. So it's again about choosing the right goal for your campaign. Mm-hmm. And then looking at the right data and making sure that it's a combination. So you're not just looking at the Facebook numbers, but you're also looking actual sales coming in.
Yeah. One that I also look at a lot that's very important is the frequency, because the frequency lets you know how many times one person is looking at your ad. And if my frequency goes above 5, then I update the creative, because I don't want to get my audience tired of seeing the same thing over and over.
No. We'd all get tired of that if you see the same thing again and again.
Yeah. So you're optimizing, keep track of whatever you're optimizing for your goals. Keep track of the link click-through rate. Keep track of the frequency, and also the reach, the impressions. All of that is very important. But the main ones for me are what you're optimizing for.
Yeah. So, I mean, guys, this is golden, because she started with coming on that we're going to talk about 3 tips or mistakes that people make. She said 8. We ended up getting 10. So I hope you have been keeping track of those. And if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. We're still on here to answer any questions. So she came
Mm-hmm.
up with 10 kind of tips and a golden nuggets on how to use your email list immediately as a kind of a short win to start with Facebook ads. So this is definitely going to be a replay up. So for some of you who are maybe just joining in now, don't forget to watch that. But any questions about this, about the scaling your businesses through Facebook ads and what you need to be doing, let us know now in the comments. Anything else you still want to add, Anna?
Yes. One thing that's very important is if you don't have Google Analytics plugged into your e-commerce business, make sure you do that right away, because you can get a lot of golden nuggets from your Google Analytics account into what people like and where they're converting from, which is something I'm gonna do in your class tomorrow. So you can see where people are converting from and what's bringing more, what collections are bringing, what products are bringing most of the conversions, and advertise that on your Facebook ads. Because if people are already buying those products, might as well scale them on your Facebook ads. But you will never know that data unless you're looking at it. And Facebook analytics is a free tool, and they're fantastic at giving you those numbers.
Yeah, exactly. So it's again coming back to knowing your numbers. So using the data, whatever storefront you're using, the data from there, the Facebook ads, and Google Analytics. I hope all of you have Google Analytics installed. If not, take this tip from Anna and go and do that quickly or right away, I would say.
Yes. Yes.
Because it takes time to optimize, right? It takes time to optimize, right?
So it takes like you can get good data from it, like I guess within a month. After a month of you having it plugged in, if you get good traffic to your website.
Yeah. So for any of you with your stores, remember that if you bring it up now, you link to your Google Analytics, it won't get past information. It starts from the day it gets linked, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. So any questions, anyone whatsoever, let us know in the comments below. You're free to even reach out to us later on through DM. And I think, Anna, what else would you like to say? Is there anything that
so I just opened up. I'm so excited.
I want to hear about this.
A Facebook ads group, not Facebook ads, a Facebook group for e-commerce businesses that want to scale their businesses beyond Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I'm going to be jumping in there and giving you tips like this, giving you all the transformation, bringing guest speakers like Monica. And I am so excited. So the link is in my bio in Instagram. So go in my bio and join the Facebook group. I just opened it yesterday. So go and join. And it's going to be a community of just for e-commerce businesses who are ready to scale. So for me, when I opened up my business, it was so hard because I feel like I was doing it on my own. But then when I started joining communities of people who had the same business that I did, it was so helpful to ask questions and like get help and interact with other like-minded business owners. So you're gonna be in here in this group, in a community of e-commerce entrepreneurs who are going through the same like roadblocks and challenges that you're going through. So I invite you to go and join.
That is absolutely awesome, guys. So if you want to join this, head over to Anna Katz Digital on Instagram. We'll tag her in the replay so you can easily go over there and go to the link in bio to join this fresh new Facebook group. And I know she is damn good at what she does. So guys, you have to go and join that. And I hope you've really enjoyed all these tips and that you take away something from that. Reach out to us later on. Let us know how it helped you, what you've done with it. And once again, this is just a second in our series. We did last time all about building an irresistible brand, really laying that strong foundation. Now it's all about scaling. And Anna and I really hope to continue this. So we also want to know from you, what would you like us to talk about going forward about building your purposeful product-based businesses, your e-commerce brands? What would you like to know? Feel free to reach out to us again on this and let us know what we should be talking about. What do you need help with?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
It was absolutely amazing. So, it's like 8:30 p.m. for me. I think it's 2:30 in the afternoon for you.
So, I'm gonna go vote right after this.
Oh, yes, you better go vote. So I'm not going to hold you on to this much longer because that voting is so important.
Thank you. But yes, everybody, let us know If you have any questions, DM Monica or I, and let us know what topics or what are you challenging with on with your business, and we'll come up again and answer your questions and give you more amazing tips like this.
Exactly. So follow us. You have Anna Katz Digital and Business with Monica. Follow us on Instagram and link up with us, and we'd love to hear from you. Now, have an awesome day or evening, depending wherever you're logging in from. And Anna, go vote.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining in.